the down or now.
Rob Alcoholic, how true this is, few realize in a vague way their families and friends sense that these drinkers are abnormal, but everybody hopefully awaits the day when the sufferer will rolls himself from his journey and assert his power of will. The tragic truth is that if the man be a real alcoholic, the happy day may not arrive. He has lost control at some point in the drinking of every alcoholic. He passes into a state where the most powerful desire to stop drinking is of absolutely no avail. This tragic situation has already arrived in practically every case long before it is suspected. The fact is that most alcoholics, for reasons yet obscure, have lost power of choice in drink. Our so-called willpower becomes practically non-existent. We are unable at certain times to bring into our consciousness, which with significant force, the memory of the suffering and the humiliation of even a week or a month ago. We are without defense against the first drink. Pass.
My name is Joan.
Hi, Joan.
I'm an alcoholic. The almost certain consequences that follow taking even a glass of beer do not crowd into the mind and to deter us. If these thoughts occur, they are hazy and readily supplanted with the old threadbare idea that this time we shall handle ourselves like other people. There is a complete failure of this kind of defense that keeps one from putting his hand on a hot stove. The alcoholic may say to himself in the most casual way, "It won't burn me this time, so here's how." Or perhaps he doesn't think at all. How often have some of us begun to drink in this nonchalant way, and after the third or fourth, pounded on the bar and said to ourselves, "For God's sakes, how did I ever get started again?" Only to have that thought supplanted by, "Well, I'll stop with the sixth drink," or "What's the use anyhow?" I'll pass.
Hi, Kenny Alcoholic.
Hey, Kenny.
When this sort of drinking is fully established in an individual with an alcoholic tendency, he has probably placed himself beyond human aid, and unless locked up, may die or go permanently insane. Step on that cricket. These stark and ugly facts have been confirmed by legions of alcoholics throughout history. But for the grace of God, there would have been thousands more convincing demonstrations. So many want to stop, but cannot. There is a solution. Almost none of us like the self-searching, the leveling of our pride, the confession of shortcomings, which the process requires for its successful consummation. But we saw that it really worked in others, and we had come to believe in the hopelessness and futility of life as we had been living it. When, therefore, we were approached by those in whom the problem had been solved, there was nothing less for us but to pick up the simple kit of spiritual tools laid at our feet. We have found much of heaven, and we have been rocketed into a fourth dimension of existence of which we had not been dreamed, not even dreamed.
The great fact is just this, and nothing less, that we have had deep and effective spiritual experiences which have revolutionized our whole attitude toward life, toward our fellows, and towards God's universe. The central fact of our lives today is the absolute certainty that our Creator has entered into our hearts and lives in a way which is indeed miraculous. He has commenced to accomplish those things for us which we could never do by ourselves. If you are as seriously alcoholic as we were, we believe there is no middle-of-the-road solution. We were in a position where life was becoming impossible, and if we had passed into the region from where there is no return through human aid, we had but two alternatives. One was to go on to the bitter end, blotting out the consciousness of our intolerable situation as best we could, and the other, to accept spiritual help. This we did because we honestly wanted to and we're willing to make the effort. A certain American businessman has ability to